What a beautiful fall day to be stuck inside. No, let's step out a little bit. Actually, we're going out to meet friends and enjoy life. Seriously, I got friends to meet, plans to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. The bus will be here shortly. Taking a new route. Gonna take the bus. This is gonna be 3 buses I'm taking. I'm going to Jamaica Plain, which is another part of, which is a part of Boston. It's a part of Boston that is accessible by MBTA for a pedestrian like me, or, you know, I grew up in Boston, in South Boston. South Boston, you know, you have Boston proper, which is like downtown Boston, the financial district, and the wharfs, North End, you know, Charlestown proper. Now, Charlestown used to be a lot bigger, too, back in the Revolutionary War days. Charlestown used to, so what we know today is modern Everett, Medford, parts of Somerville. There was once Charlestown around around the Mystic River basin there too. And so yeah, we're gonna take some buses. I got a 3 bus trip to get from where I live in Quincy out to Jamaica Plain into an Irish bar where there's I hear an 18-ounce ribeye, medium rare, waiting for me with my name on it. Sides. I can get mac and cheese and some veg de jour. Then you have to make some kind of, well, I do. Choose one or the other. An appetizer or a dessert. I love dessert. I got a sweet tooth. So, but you can't do both. I can't eat all that. I wouldn't want to. As we say here at the show, Charlie Cod, tea pass, coffee, getting ready for the bus. Bus. I'll be here in a couple of minutes. So yeah, 3 buses. I'm gonna take the 215 to Ashmont. I think it's the 21 from Ashmont to Forest Hills, then the 39 from Forest Hills up Washington Street. And that will later on connect down on, like, I think Huntington Avenue. I can take that home. I can take the 39 up to Northeastern University and catch the Green Line E-train to Park Street. And then switch there for my Braintree-bound Red Line train. And then come back to my neighborhood. I get a buy. I like not having a car. What does any of this have to do with comic books? You know, it's just a beautiful day. It's a beautiful fall day in early November. And we're talking about comic books. And this is the comic book show for the week. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, once again, it's just not doing the live show, but I'm going to make a comic book show nonetheless. Because this is what we do here. We make content. But, I mean, I got stuff to do. I mean, I can't be held back by being held in. It's a beautiful day. Get out there and live a little. You know, make plans with friends. Make plans with family. Commit. See them. Make the effort. Go out to them. Be ready to host and keep your dwelling clean. Scrub your toilet. You know what I mean? Make sure that everything's, looks nice. Because part of that is just like leading up to part 2 of our comic books conversation. Actually, no, let's move that to part 1. We're going to talk about 2 comic books today. One is a gift for somebody. My friend Thomas Gilkey, I'm going to give him a comic book. And it's kind of like it answers one of those questions of what is something you would suggest to a relative normie, how would you turn someone on to this thing of ours? This thing of ours. This thing about comic books. It's a beautiful day. Look at how blue the sky is. Behold the verdant, the last of the. Look at the autumnal colors. Nature's first green is gold, our hardest hue to hold. Bus, 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 bus. Here comes the bus, bus, bus. Bus, 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 bus. Bus, bus, bus. Let's grab a seat. And that's about it. Keep to ourselves. Hello. Here we are. So yeah, I got him a comic book. We're gonna check that out on our trip to Jamaica Plain. Going to an Irish bar called the Galway House. There's also the Brendan Behan pub. It's been years, decades since I've been to the Behan. They don't have food though, and like I require substance. I require some supper. I love supper. I really do. And we're here on the bus in public transportation. It should take me an hour and 20 minutes to get to my final destination using public transportation. I've already paid for my my monthly Link Pass. Yeah, so it's somewhat unlimited use of the subway and the buses. There are limitations to it, but I paid $90 a month for basically free range over the city. I can get anywhere I want, basically with, in a little more than an hour. It's pretty cool. I don't have to worry about parking or gas or insurance or tires or AAA or road rage. They mentioned traffic, you know what I mean? Just, you have to respect traffic too. Being on a bus. I've never really gone, I know the beaten path here, but I've never taken the bus this way before. This is the bus stop at the foot of my street. I take this to and from the subway station when I can, when it's feasible, when available. So yeah, I'm trying out new bus routes. And bring something to read. I did. So I'm going to read this one last time before I give it to Thomas. And it's a good book. I have to get me another copy. It's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. It's a damn good 6-issue. That's 3 acts, 2 issues for each act. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I said we're going to talk about 2 comics this week. So it was a really weird week for new comic books, okay? Ooh, it's Pizza Town. I went to my local comic book shop, as I do every Wednesday, or usually every Wednesday. This could have been a week if I had properly planned. I would have known better. But I went to my local comic book shop after work on Wednesday. Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. And that's when new releases of our favorite serialized periodical publications are made available to us for purchase from the local comic book shops. I have a pull list. That means I have a list of books that they will order for me and make sure that they have on hand. And then I will go on to peruse their the shelves. And there were always sales, and I have a gift certificate from my from my stepdad, my mom and my stepdad from last year for my birthday that I've barely scratched the surface. I think I got like $90 left on it. So this is the kind of thing that I got. I didn't get I just paid for it outright. But so there was no books on my pull list this week. None. October had 5 Wednesdays. So Wednesday is also my payday. So it's one of 3 months a year. Is it 3 or 4 months a year that you get 5 paychecks if you're not on salary or commission. I get paid on Wednesdays, and so I had 5 Wednesdays in October, and it happens a few times a year. You get an extra paycheck. Not really extra. You earned it. Yeah, hello. So buttons. And I bought a book. So, okay, I bought something I've had my eye on. This is a point. This is a big point to us, because I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you to leave comments in the comment section. So there was nothing on my pull list this week. And the one book that I wanted, Robo-Wolf number 2, wasn't there. So I have to special order that. I'll get that in a week or two. Whenever it comes in, I want that. It's a 3-issue limited series on Dark Horse. Jake Smith writes and does the art. It's really fun. It's a really good book. It's one of I didn't read that many books this week. I didn't read I didn't do my usual Marvel thing this week. But so buttons. I'm kind of rubbernecking too. I'm never down this side of town. Yeah. So I bought a book that I had my eye on. You might have heard that Humanoids, the European-based publisher, and specifically of great bande dessinée titles, of French comics, Italian comics. Humanoids is a very notable publisher. I got a lot of Humanoid stuff on my good bookshelf, and a lot of them are written by Alejandro Jodorowsky, and a lot of them have art by the Italian master Milo Manara. Now, let's talk about Milo Manara. Milo Manara is 82 years old. He's still with us. He got a lot of notoriety 40, 50 years ago in the 70s and 80s, drawing very exquisitely beautiful erotica. European erotica. So it had Italian sexual mores of the late 20th century. And, you might know Milo Manara from that controversial Spider-Woman cover of Jessica Drew. She was on all fours, the very heart-shaped bottom. It got a lot of grief from feminists. It's true. But Milo Manara also, he's a product of his time. He's a product of the 20th century. Now, there's something to the 20th century, to sexuality, to the pursuit of man and woman. I believe it was called the European Coxman. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a challenge and a feather in a European man's cap to actively seek out and deflower young women. And
California Avenue.
And so Milo Manara's works, it skirts what we consider sensible and very permission and consent in the 21st century. Milo Manara had a very 20th century European, lascivious, patriarchal, macho view of sex and erotica. So I grew up peeking at Milo Manara's work all of my life. When I was a preteen, way too young to be seeing this stuff. When I was a teenager, they would be in Newbury Comics on Newbury Street, and specifically Tower Records at the corner of Newbury and Mass Ave. Tower Records had a European comic section. They had 2000 AD. They They had Action Force, Transformers UK, and they also had like heavy metal. They also had European erotica, which Milo Manara, Tom of Finland, I've seen it all. And at too young of an age, too, I think, too. I mean, it's like that kind of stuff leaves an impression on a young mind. And, but Milo Manara really would, today, Milo Manara would be downright problematic. And for me to own Milo Manara as an adult, it feels dirty, it feels naughty, because it is somewhat of contraband. It could be, it's not illegal to own Milo Manara books. One day it could be. It's beautiful art, but also it calls into question very specious acts of violating consent. I'm not saying that there were straight up grape scenes, G-R-A-P-E. Obviously you have to pronounce it like that for YouTube. But there are lots of testing the bounds of what we would consider consent in the 21st century, and such permissions and taking of permissions that led to such consents being so literal and obvious. But I digress. Milo Manara is a fabulous author, especially an artist of erotica in the female form. We've got plenty of his stuff, like The Paper Man, Pandora's Eyes. And then comes the riskier stuff, which it talks about, what I'm talking about, with consent being, what it is. There's butterscotch. Butterscotch is wonderful. What is butterscotch? Butterscotch is about a young ballerina and the prima ballerina who she hates her because she's beautiful, young, and upcoming. And she comes across an invisible man. And it's erotica, so it goes, on with that. Then there's also another one I'm actively looking for, too. It's called Click. And this is and it's about hey, you slip some kind of device onto a woman, some kind of electronic device, and you flick the switch, and she becomes uncontrollably horny and willing. See what I mean about consent? So buttons, I know. So it's kind of so I got this book at my local comic book shop. I had my eye on it within the humanoid section with the Jodorowsky, but it's very few and far between. You can find a Milo Manara book in the wild, especially of his erotica. And this was the uncensored version of The Golden Ass. Now, The Golden Ass is about transmogrification, about a lover who is transformed into a donkey. And farcical hijinks ensue. And there was 6 pages, so 3 printed pages, 6 art on both sides, of certain acts of passion that even left me uncomfortable. Maybe you can use your imagination, maybe you could read a wiki about, I don't want to talk about, but one thing I don't want, I literally don't want to be caught dead with this. It's on my bookshelf. It's with the rest of the Milo Manara stuff. And so what I did is I made the conscious choice to take some scissors and remove these 3 pages of art out of an art book, to take the story out. I censored this work of art. I purposefully defiled my book because I am uncomfortable without a certain scene. And I literally do not want to be judged by having that kind of stuff in my home. And it's one scene in a book full of erotica, a book full of sexual hijinks. But this was just one step too far. And it also had, it's European. So it comes from a different intention, and it comes from a different place. And it also comes from, there's a place of mythology too, such as Zeus. And Zeus would transform into swans and eagles and other forms of animals to seduce women, basically. Oh, he came to me as a swan, I couldn't help myself. And it was Zeus the entire time. And so there is a subtext of this, of reality called Beast. And if you can switch that around, and I don't want to say that kind of stuff on YouTube. I don't want to get flagged. I don't want any more problems with these people. I'm not saying it was like it's a furry fantasy or anything. It's more of I edited my book. I was that anti-art. Was I anti-art? Or am I fully within my rights? It's my book. I can do whatever I want to it. I could set it on fire if I wanted to. Dance lot.
Please hold on while remain seated while the bus is moving.
But yeah, I voluntarily. I put them in the shredder. I threw them away. They're in the garbage. They went out with the garbage. They're gone. I literally didn't want to get caught dead with that. Yeah, that's so weird, huh? Or is it weird? But I did destroy art, huh? I ruined the integrity of my book by removing these pages. If I knew about, I didn't have access to this book before. I never read this before. The Golden Ass, and it's based upon a Roman fable called the Golden Ass of someone. So these are thousands of years old tales of European stuff, like Italy, the Illuminati, it's Italian. I don't know how else to put it. But golf course. That's President's. That's the only golf course I've ever really had a full 18, and I parred at 5. I did. Interesting. So I butchered a book. I edited something. I censored something. Or am I within my rights? Was that anti-art? Was the spirit of what I did anti-art? We often get accused of being anti-art over on West is Think Critical because we don't like certain books, we don't like certain artists or creators or this or that or movies. And I disagree with that because that's just sensationalism. But what did I just do something that was literally anti-art? Should I not have done that? Should I have kept the book as is? And leaving this more than risque scene in this book about, it's interesting to know what a person's thresholds are, I guess, too, or, But yeah, so that's it. A Tale of Two Books. So both of these books I bought at my local comic book shop. I need to replace my own copy of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, because I'm giving it away. Well, it's not. I've even read it. I mean, I kind of did. I've read it before. I'm buying the sequel now in floppies. I should have been buying this in floppies. Maybe I'll buy it again. Maybe my second copy, I'll buy the floppies. That'll make me happier. But this is definitely a comic that I'm going to give to a normie. Now, Thomas has bought enough Ripicent. He likes, I'm not sure if he's current on Ripiverse, but he's got a taste for comics now, and it's not his thing. But like I said, like this is not a DC superhero. This isn't Spider-Man or the Avengers. This isn't the Mark Miller's The Ultimates with John, with Brian Hitch. What kind of comic book would you give to an absolute normie to try to sell them on how awesome this thing of ours is? This our hobby of comics. I am going to use Under the Trees Where Nobody Sees as my go-to lender out or gift. I'm lending this out with. I was going to lend it out, and then I'd have to give it. And so many books you lend out and you never get back. And I'm just saying, you know what? I'm just going to gift this. I guess my one criticism as an IDW publication, there's no obligatory blank page with the indicia on it. It's like the inside cover is just full of design, and there's no room to leave an inscription. That's something my mom taught me to do. You put the name, the date, and it's a little note being like, "Hey, I bought you this book. Enjoy." And so when if it's on their shelf and they open it up in the future and they'll be like, "Hey, Sully gave me this book all those many moons ago. Wasn't that cool? You thought of me." And they wanted, I think that's cool. This thing of ours. You're never too old to get into this thing of ours. I don't believe in that being a tenet of tourism. I think that tourism is actually, it's a true thing. It's kind of like media literacy. I mean, it's a real thing, but the term itself gets so overused and so abused that it's like it loses its potency, its vibrancy, its meaning, its severity. I mean, calling someone a tourist is a really interesting judgmental thing to say to someone. And you have to have, there are standards. But being new to it isn't, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how many books I've lent out that I never got back. And I've lent them out to other adults. And then also I've had a few friends of mine who were adults try to turn me onto something by letting me borrow. Like, such as the first 4 trade paperbacks of Walking Dead. And that's when I started buying it. Then I got the first compendium. I would trade wait for that. I loved Walking Dead for a very long time. But that was the suggestion. I would never have read that. And that was the little book that came out every month. Black and white simplicity. Robert Kirkman. Wow. I know, huh? But yeah, so I'm giving IDW, I think it's Robert Horigworth. I got it right in my bag. I don't want to, I'd have to unpack my bag a bit. Is it Nicholas Horigworth? But it's he wrote it, he drew it, I think he inked it, I think he might have colored it. I'm not sure. I don't think he lettered it. Hassan Atmani Alu lettered it, and he's got a cover credit like he does. Like, that's a great negotiation. The letterer is basically on all the indies. The letterer gets a credit now, which is interesting too, because I got a really interesting opinion on lettering. I think that should and could go to AI, especially if you're an independent small creator like a crowdfunder and you needed quality lettering. It's all coding anyway. It's about choosing software, then choosing fonts, and then manipulating images. It's not about hand drawing your lettering or hand drawing onomatopoeia sound effects anymore. It's all software suites and coding and word processing. That's lettering in the 21st century. It really has. It's been like that for 25 years. I mean, I've heard it from reliable sources, namely Nate Picos, the author of The Essential Guide to Lettering, who's a letterer. But publishers can't afford hand lettering.
Adams Corner. Bus junction.
Oh, wow, Adams Corner. I haven't been here forever. Wow, I could take the bus to Adams Corner. Why would I want to? Who knows? But I can. I don't have hair like that. I'm very bald. But yeah, this has been our comics show for the week. A Tale of Two Books. Man, Contraband. Yeah, it had a really. Yeah, it's set in Roman times, and so it has. Yeah, I don't want to make excuses for it, but I also want to know from you. What do you think? Do you think I did the wrong thing by cutting these pages out of a book? Is that anti-art? Let me know in the comment section. And that's about it. That's just this show for this week. I'm going to upload it and it will premiere 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, Sunday. And I'm going to get back to... I'm doing the best of what I can with what I got. I've got my new iPhone, so I have this mobile studio. Oh, there's the McDonald's I used to eat as a child. I remember getting the a McDonald's McShake here. The green St. Patrick's Day, it's green food dye and a vanilla, or maybe it was. I don't think it was mint. But it was, I remember I pooped green for 2 days after that. Yeah. Pooped green. Yeah, very vibrant green. It was definitely from the McDonald's McShake. I never had one since. I wonder if the ice cream machine's working. If they can make one. Hey, maybe I'll get one this year. Let's see. Spent a lot of time in Dorchester. We're in Dorchester now. We crossed the Neponset River, the natural barrier, the natural border of Quincy and Boston. We're back in Boston, now we're in Dorchester, near Adams Corner. Been a while. Oh well. Yeah, that's about it. So, yeah. The Golden Ass by Milo Manara. Look it up yourself. I mean, don't look at, I'm not telling you to look up those pictures. No, I mean, a wiki would not have the pictures. They'll probably tell you what the story note using words.
Road.
I can't help but rubberneck. All right. So that's about it. Yeah. So hit that like button. Hit that hype button. Whatever that hype button does. I'd like to know. You can hit my hype button. Hit me with that rhythm stick. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me slowly. Hit me quick. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. In the gardens of Japan. In the rivers of Sudan. All right, that's about it then. So yes, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great day. God bless, namaste, good luck, and we will see you next Sunday with more comic talk. Let me know in the comments section. I would love to continue this comic book shop style conversation. All right, bye.